Hey, look, it's Orange Man Bad. Why is Orange Man Bad on screen on a channel that's almost exclusively focused on Tesla? Good question.
But we had an exciting event the other night with Elon Musk and me.
I listened.
We had a pretty big audience for that one, I can tell you.
Yeah, I listened for probably about like 20 minutes. I thought it was cool. It was. I think the tough part was just like it would have been neat if you guys could have been in the same spot, you know. But I still thought it was exceptional.
I heard the audio was great, and actually they put out a clear tape of it because they had clear tape.
Oh, nice.
They had so many millions and millions of people watching, like record numbers of people. And I'm trying.
By the way, he ain't wrong here. I can tell you guys for a fact. Let me dig up the exact numbers right now. I reposted that entire discussion with all of the pauses and silences deleted to save everyone time on YouTube. And look, tinfoil hat alert. After doing so, a few hours later, I discovered that the YouTube algorithm was recommending this video to approximately 1/5, maybe 10% of the people it typically does. Now, I understand it's a longer videos. A lot of people are going to see the time and go, yeah, fuck that, or they've already seen it. So I get that. It's going to be down a little bit because the algorithm's like, well, not everyone who normally watches is watching it, plus they don't all care about the interview. However, there was disturbing apparent possible suppression on this discussion. However, the next day I had a quick look to see what's happened, and I discover that as I read this right now, 89,000 people manually searched on YouTube to find the full interview. Many of whom, by the way, commented below on the video, man, I had to scroll through a bunch of bullshit from the mainstream media that wasn't the full interview before I found this. By the way, if you guys don't know, for some strange reason, YouTube tends to prioritize content from the fake news as if they're trustworthy sources of information. So the point is, not far off 100,000 people were on YouTube searching specifically for the full discussion. And I'm sure there are many other people who wanted to watch clips and saw other versions, and I'm not the only one who would have posted the full thing. That's very abnormal. In fact, I cannot recall a time ever on the channel, although I don't pay attention that much to the stats all the time, but I can't ever recall a time where that many people, nearly 100,000 people, manually searched for something and found a video. That really shows people hungry to see the conversation, as opposed to the algorithm just serving it and recommending it, which wasn't happening much on this video. You understand, right? Most people, you specifically on YouTube, most of the content you probably watch is probably stuff that was recommended to you as opposed to you manually searching for a specific video. People wanted this conversation desperately. So when Trump talks about record numbers, he ain't wrong. I mean, this is a record for my own channel for content.
Trying to figure out, we're on a cell phone, or I was, and you know, that's a lot of people coming into a cell phone one way or the other.
Yeah.
But I heard some people had a problem with the audio. I don't know. I don't do that thing. You know, that was done, and we had a great conversation. It was for 2 hours and 15 minutes. They just put out a clear tape of it, a perfect tape of it. But yeah, I think I sounded, somebody said your voice was distorted or something. And you know, I guess it happens. Look, it was such a big thing, such a big audience, but I would have loved to have seen the clear tape originally. They put it out right after the show. So now it's a clear tape where a perfect tape done there.
Yeah.
But when it goes through different phone systems and everything else, you think if we were together, that doesn't happen then? Because I think his voice was more clear than
maybe because he was the one who was like initiating the call. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure about how all that works. But yeah, I know that in post, a lot of times they can tighten things up and make it better, you know? Yeah. It's amazing how Elon, like the cost to really have your own voice in the world is $44 billion, basically.
Yeah. Well,
if you want to have your voice, like, you know what I'm saying? He has his own channel.
And he does what he wants to do. Yeah. And he's a fantastic guy. And he's a brilliant person. And the country should be very proud of him, actually. I have truth.
Very high and accurate praise from Musk. The fact that he's got balls and he'll do what he wants to do. No fucks given. Has courage. Will speak up, stand up when it matters. Trump sharing his respect and admiration for the guy. And broadening that statement to say that the whole country, the United States, should respect the guy, as opposed to a large portion of the country, and not actually a large portion, but a loud portion of the country, NPCs and or politicians who relentlessly attack the guy, bring him down, disparage him, spread lies and misinformation, attack his character, diminish his accomplishments, or in the case of the Biden administration, weaponize the Justice Department to go after the guy. Just imagine what a Trump presidency will be like for Tesla and Musk's other companies versus the current situation with an actively hostile administration. You cannot believe how helpful to Tesla a Trump administration would be.
Which has been very successful.
True Social, you mean?
True Social, yeah. And that's been very successful in getting my voice out. Well, I needed a voice because, you know, I was on Twitter and I was on Instagram. I was on all of it. And I was on Facebook. And when you added it up, I was told by Zuckerberg and others, it was like record-setting type of numbers. And then one day I didn't have anything because they canceled. They canceled.
There's such a collusion there, right?
Yeah, it was a pretty bad thing. And so I had nothing. So after about a month, I have a lot of things to say. And after about a month, I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to just go out and put out an old public relations statement. You remember that? And although you're a little young to see it, but in the old days, you'd put out a statement. And I did, and it was just gobbled up. It was really gobbled up. And I opened Truth, and Truth has become terrific, actually, for me.
Platform.
I really want just as a platform. It's more important than anything else. And
well, at least you have your voice then. You can say what you want to say.
My voice back, yeah. I had hundreds of millions of people. Even now, I haven't been too active on X, but I have, I guess, 90-some-odd million people.
I just want to take a quick moment to note that Orange Man Bad is accurately referring to X as X, and also when he was talking about the acquisition of the company previously named Twitter, he called it Twitter. Not only does this demonstrate his brain's working, but that there's a level of respect. For those who missed it recently, the Harris campaign sent out an email during the conversation with Musk where they insultingly, in the opening sentence, referred to X as Twitter and specifically said, no, we're not calling it X. Outrageous. The disrespect toward Musk, unbelievable. Versus this, the guy's actually calling the platform X.
On it, but I was much higher than that when I was actually
all the people. I don't even know how many people there are.
Yeah, it's been, but I love the job he's done, and he's brought a certain voice back into play.
Yeah.
The previous people were terrible.
Yeah.
Every time you do a thing, you'd be red flagged.
Can confirm, dude ain't lying. The number of times my account on X previously under Twitter ownership was shadow banned, I can't count. And I actually mean this. I'm not like some conspiracy, no one liked my post. No, actually shadow banned. You can do a reverse search and find out what activity had occurred on your account from the back end. Your expressive view, the morons at Twitter didn't like, well, you put in the sin bin and no one will see your posts or your account for a week, give or take. Total horseshit. Fuck off and let people share their thoughts and opinions. Don't interfere. So when Trump talks about bringing a certain voice back, that's right. People whose voices previously were suppressed are now allowed to be heard. So shout out to Musk for dropping $44 billion to let this happen.
They'd put up a red flag. Every statement you made, you'd be red flagged.
Yeah, it's almost like, it's like when you have a babysitter and they don't want to have any fun or whatever.
Yeah, right.
That's kind of the vibe I got.
Bro has just hit the nail on the head there. Just want to take a quick moment here, guys, because you may have noticed over the last few years, the name Elon Musk, due to the projects that the guy's doing in the real world, businesses, innovation, technology, disruption, Musk-led companies have become so consequential. The guy's name comes up in every goddamn fucking podcast on the planet every week. I listen to a lot of podcasts and I noticed this. And I've been listening to podcasts since early days with Tim Ferriss. What's that, 10 plus years ago? And I've noticed in the last probably 3 to 4 years, but it's just ramping up more and more. Suddenly out of nowhere, I hear Elon Musk's name come up. Of course, on the Lex Friedman podcast, if Elon's name doesn't come up every episode, something's severely wrong with Lex. The reason I want to highlight this, though, is Theo Vonn has a very interesting audience. Skews younger, skews apolitical, skews enough to the point where he sells pills for people who are having challenges barring up. And there will be many people. By the way, a couple of days ago, Theo Vonn hosted Bernie Sanders and now Trump, right? So the point that I'm getting at here is many people who are watching or listening to Theo Vonn's podcast, which is huge, millions of people listen, either have a negative opinion that's been installed in their brains from the media regarding Musk and or Tesla, or just don't really have an opinion. And these two gentlemen now, high praise, multiple moments here at the very intro, the very beginning of this conversation. In the first sort of 10 minutes, they're discussing the fantastic conversation with Elon the other day on X, talking about free speech, how great Elon is, how incredible he is, the level of respect, admiration, his courage, and so on. And now more. Over the long term, this is going to be extremely positive for Tesla. Musk is not paying to have his name come up over and over and over in a positive light on podcasts from people whose audiences are passionate, dedicated, and massively respect the host. But here we are, another example. Musk's name comes up, two guys praising the guy, more than countering the extremely loud minority of people screaming that Elon bad.
Yeah.
A lot of money.
What are some of the other lobbies that are out there that we don't even know about?
Well, the most powerful lobby is the lawyer lobby, I would say. The teacher's lobby is important or powerful, sometimes really to the detriment of everybody. But the most powerful lobby is probably the lawyers. Who would think that, right? But they have, that's why if you wanted to get rid of court cases and cut down litigation costs, which in this country is out of control, loser
It's
pays.
crazy.
What you do is you go loser pays. In other words, the loser of a lawsuit has to pay for the other side, has to pay back all the money the other side spent.
God damn, this guy's a genius. Why didn't I think of that? Brilliant idea. Wait, what's this? Sorry, my editor's in my ear. We're putting something on the screen right now. What's this? A post from September 30th, 2023 from some guy with 3 first names. Let's read it. Name something insane about the US. I'll start. The legal system has not adopted loser pays. The losing party pays the other party's legal costs. As a result, there are at least 10 times too many lawyers. The US is insanely litigious, and bad actors can weaponize the legal system against enemies, filing stupid cases simply to inflict obscene legal costs on others. Ringing any bells? Of course, odds of this changing are close to zero, since a lot of people have their snout in the trough and will not want the change to happen. In before lawyers start explaining why I don't know what I'm talking about. Oh, wait. I'm that guy. I'm the guy who said, I actually agree with Orange Man Bad, and we had the same thought. I mean, it stuns me that this isn't a thing. Trump's right. This is a simple and elegant solution.
You know, it all feeds into it.
Wait, hold on, just so I understand, Donald. Sorry. So that lobby is a very powerful one.
Yeah.
But why do those people want people to suffer though? Just so they can make money?
Yeah. Actually,
crazy.
yeah. It really has to do with money.
For some reason, the frivolous lawsuit filed against Tesla, trying to overturn the overwhelming will of shareholders regarding Musk's 2018 compensation package. I feel like the lawyers were seeking close to $6 billion of Tesla stock for compensation for fucking over Tesla investors with a dumb lawsuit. Surely I imagine that, right? That would never happen. That's just too crazy. So guys, girls, don't believe the lies. There's a narrative at the moment. Elon bad, Elon destroying Tesla, Elon having opinions, destroying Tesla, Elon getting political, bad for Tesla. No. What it's bad for is the ability for people to continue to score virtue signaling points in their extreme left bubbles among people. Look, I bought an electric vehicle because I care about the environment. Look at me, I'm a good person. That's why a lot of people initially got involved in Tesla, either buying the stock for themselves and or in their fund and or driving a Tesla. And look, if you care about the environment that much, that's great. But a lot of people did these things, first jumped on the Tesla train, specifically to score virtue signaling points among their social circle, for example, in the California bubble. And now suddenly, the leader of the company having some opinions that are not allowed. These opinions are illegal if you live in California or a few other left-leaning bubbles. Remember, after all, Orange Man Bad is a real threat to democracy, and right? So now they've got a problem because they previously were supportive of Tesla for the virtue signaling points for the environment, but now there's a conflict because they're losing more points because Elon bad than they're gaining for driving an electric vehicle because of the environment. Because after all, the world's going to be completely flooded within 3 years if we don't immediately stop having hot showers and eating food, especially meat. But as I've said in the past, these people represent a tiny minority of extremely loud and, in the scheme of things, utterly irrelevant virtue signaling drones. Overwhelmingly, the amount of support and love and respect for Elon Musk and Tesla continues to grow. Only the most extreme people have anything negative to say about Musk. They're loud, but as a percent of the entire population, they do not move the needle. Yet, at the same time, there are masses of new people forming very positive opinions about Musk who previously had absolutely no interest. They weren't chomping at the bit to buy an electric vehicle just to signal how great they are and get some virtue signaling points in their social circle because no one gives a fuck. They didn't have an opinion on Musk, but now suddenly they keep hearing their favourite podcasters bringing up Musk's name, repeatedly having positive things to say, respecting the guy for buying X, allowing people to freely share their thoughts and opinions once again, for standing up for what he believes in. This stuff takes time to play out, but mark my words, this is creating a snowball effect. That's not the narrative you'll hear, of course, because almost all of the legacy media leans left and therefore Elon bad, and therefore, especially leading up to the 2024 presidential election a few months from now, the attacks on Musk will continue. They will intensify. They will become even more vicious, ridiculous, and absurd. But at the same time, this false narrative is being painted. You can be assured that on average, not in thought bubbles, but on average, a huge portion of the US and global population who didn't even previously have an opinion on Musk, had never even considered purchasing a Tesla, are now forming very positive opinions of both. And here's a great way to cut through the noise. If you happen to hear somebody in your social circle or even on social media or in the media making claims that Elon's destroying Tesla's brand, that you wish he'd just shut up about politics, right, watch this, ready? Cheat codes, ready? Ask where this person lives. Now, I'm going to throw a few names of places out there right off the bat because there's a pretty decent chance, okay? Anywhere in California at all? Okay, done. They're a Californian resident. Doesn't count. Thought bubble. New York, Portland, Oregon, Seattle. Right. How did I know? Exactly. Thought bubbles. It's important to be able to pull yourself out of your local environment and to understand more broadly what people are thinking. I mean, this requires a little bit of intelligence, but you got to understand, right? Thought bubbles exist. You're in one right now. It's a Tesla thought bubble. I mean, not everybody sees the opportunity in Tesla like we do. Otherwise, they'd all be all in on, right? Get it? But what you'll find in almost every case is people who are concerned about Musk sharing opinions, buying X, blah, 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 are all feeling peer group pressure, social pressure in their thought bubble. Because in their thought bubble, Elon bad, Orange Man bad, stop being political Elon, stop being opinions Elon, and so on. So next time you hear somebody saying something like this, just ask where they live, keeping in mind the places I just rattled off. I mean, there's more, but I think you'll find that in almost every case, anyone with the Elon bad opinion happens to live in a thought bubble that does not represent the general opinions and views of the average person. Want more content? Early access? A bunch of perks? Click the links in the pinned comment. AG1 is awesome. I've been taking it daily now for more than 3 years. It's a great way to fill in nutritional gaps. It's packed full of vitamins, minerals, and whole food source nutrients, plus has prebiotics, probiotics, and adaptogens to improve gut health, regularity, and help your body handle stress. I'm always looking for an edge to help me feel and perform my best, which is why I haven't missed a day of AG1 for more than 3 years. And I haven't missed a daily video in more than 3 years. Must be a coincidence, right? Just try it and see how you feel. Click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR and get yourself a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3 plus K2 and 5 travel packs. But don't take my word for it. This is what viewers of the channel had to say after trying AG1. I feel like I have a lot more energy since I started on AG1. By the way, viewer, that makes 2 of us. On to the next. Just got my AG1 in the mail. Legit feeling the effects after day 3. This viewer's been taking AG1 for 8 months and says, what an investment. Another. 3 months ago, I started AG1 and have been enjoying the evenness of alertness and energy that lasts the day. I just started the wife on it too. Are you convinced yet? I mean, hey, it's worth trying, right? Click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR or I can keep going. There's plenty more to come. This viewer, after about a month on AG1, definitely a lack of fatigue in the afternoon. Pleasant side effect is that my coffee intake has imploded and is almost down to 0. One more? Yeah, why not? I honestly feel younger and will be continuing to use AG1. This stuff really is crazy good. I didn't think it would be, but this stuff is awesome. It really is what everyone is saying. One more? Don't mind if I do. I've just received my 3rd month supply. I've drank it every day. I have so much energy throughout most of the day. I'm productive, started a new business, started socializing, refurbished a boat. It's no coincidence. Thank you for your persistence, your integrity, and your insights. Now look, these are not my words. These are not my testimonials. This is what you guys and girls are saying. Maybe it's 100% placebo effect. But even if that's the case, I think it's money well spent. Click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR and get yourself a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3 plus K2 and 5 travel packs. If you're still skeptical, hey, I don't blame you. Everyone on the planet seems to be promoting AG1 now, but guess what? They weren't nearly 3 years ago when I had this to say privately to my Patreon audience before there was a relationship, when I was asked about what I was doing for my health, energy, and so on. Just sharing my genuine, honest thoughts about a product I'd recently discovered that was at the time called Athletic Greens, now AG1. If I could only recommend one supplement to take, Athletic Greens, and I'm not getting paid to say this, Athletic Greens is a fucking game changer. I cannot believe how effective this is. No longer having a lack of energy in the afternoons. It's fucking amazing. There's only one thing to recommend, seriously. Try Athletic Greens. You won't go back. So obviously, just like Elon Musk is a liar, a fraud, a con man, a scammer, a fake engineer, and Tesla's going bankrupt, you shouldn't trust that guy from about 3 years ago who, without any financial incentive, was promoting this product to his audience on Patreon when they were asking about health and what he's doing for supplements. Because obviously, there was some other reason he recommended that, obviously. Not sure what it was, but don't trust that guy. And all the testimonials, like my mental game has improved with AG1. I feel better than ever. I'm so impressed I've bought it for both my parents. I feel more focused and have better digestion. Incredible difference. No more afternoon fatigue. It's relieved gut issues. These are all just obviously fake testimonials from fake people. Right? Wrong. Just try it. Unless you hate yourself. If you hate yourself and you don't even want to risk possibly feeling better, this is not for you. But for everyone else, what's the worst that could happen? Try it for a month. See how you feel. It's a no-brainer. Just click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR. You'll get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3 and K2 plus 5 travel packs. And you'll take the colossal risk that maybe you might have a similar experience to some of the people whose testimonials we've read in this video.